Okay, so we're at an end with a thread, and you don't want to leave your washcloth with a thread hanging from it. So if your work has a front and a back, the washcloth doesn't really. I mean, there's this side which is more pearly looking, that's what we call pearl where the bumps are, and then there's this side with the checkerboard pattern. So I'm going to tie the end in on what I would call a wrong side, although in the case of this washcloth there really is no wrong side. So I'm just going to thread the needle, right? I just get a needle that has a nice big eye, and if you can get one that has a bit of a bent end, it sure helps in working with your yarn. And I'll see if I can zoom that in even a little bit more to try and help with this process. So all we're going to do is just find some bumps, or that's called umbrellas and smiles, that you can just put that yarn through. So I'm going to take it through there and a neighboring bump, just a couple of them, like this. Actually, because this is a different color, I think I am actually going to take it through one at a time. So we're going to take it through this one, and I might take it through there, except this is blue and blue on white I don't want to do, so I'm going to be a little crazy and put it in the next door neighbor one like that. Okay, so now because this is cotton, normally I do not knot any of my yarns. I don't like knots in my work, but in the case of cotton, because it's so slippery, I actually am going to knot it. I just want to show you what I do. I want to work with a little bit of a shorter thread. Just gonna chop that off a little bit more. Yarn is made up of plies. Well, sometimes it is. And this is made up of 4 strands. So I'm just gonna separate those like this. Whoops. Sometimes it's a little bit of a twisty and twirly process. So I've got them separated. Perfect. So I got that split out. This is just with cotton. I don't normally do this procedure for weaving in the ends, but cotton slips. So then I'm going to take 1/2 of that and put it through yet a different loop. So just the next door neighbor loop. Pull it through. So just that half. Okay, and then we're going to knot this. Do one little knot. Don't want to pull, well, you want it tight, but cotton can break, so just sort of feel how it's going. And pull the other one through. It's nice and tight. And then I just snip it. Oops, I'm going to snip that a little closer, and I'm going to snip it there. And there you go. You can't even tell where it is, and it looks fine on that side. So some of you may have run out of yarn, and then you end up with this where your old yarn was, and then you had to incorporate your new yarn. And this is where the old yarn was, you ran out, and then you incorporated your new yarn. And this is from the back side, so it's a little upside down looking. But so the first thing I like to do is, because it's a bit gapy in here, I like to just basically twist this. So I take the one yarn and the other yarn, and I just cross it over so that it's sort of finishing the stitch a little bit. And then what I'll do now is that this yarn I will weave in and tie a knot on that way, and this one now is going the opposite direction. I hope that makes some sense. So what we'll do is we will thread the needle, and just like if you did the weaving in on the start and end piece, it's the same kind of process here. I'm just going to pick some what we call smiles and umbrellas, and I'm just going to pick a bump to go through. And because I want to stay in the same color realm, I'm not going to, it's a light blue, I'm going to maintain it in the light blue area because I don't want the work to show. So I'm going to go through the umbrella, and now I'm going to go through the, what we call a smile. Just going to do that. And then I'm going to go through an umbrella. That is probably enough. Okay, and then as we did before, because cotton can slip, I'm just going to chop a little bit more off of there. Whoop, sorry about that. I'm going to split the plies in order to tie the cotton actually into a knot. Okay, so then I'll thread the one end like that, and I'm just going to put it in through the next smile like that. Smile! You're on camera! All right, and then we will tie this into a knot and pull tight, but be careful of the break point in cotton, but you want a good tight knot. Tie another knot. Okay, that should be good. And then snip it and snip it. And then I will do the same with this one. All right. And I will pick the video up as soon as I finish that.